Hello all, here is another procedural audio patch I made that emulates kick drums. On the left is the GUI and on the right is the procedural audio patch. It may look complicated on the outside, but the inside is pretty simple. The patch is made up of one phase modulation patch, noise, filters, envelopes, and is only 170 kilobytes in size. The default patch is a live kick sound, but because of all the controls, you can make nearly any kick drum sound. I've saved some presets to give you some idea of what sound directions can be taken. All the variations were made using just small changes to the original. Take a listen. The patch also features a recorder that will record your kick sound to a WAV file, which you can then use as a sample. You can also play back a WAV file if you want to try and emulate a kick sound, or to hear the sound you've recorded. Let's take a look inside. It all starts here, at this magic spot. This emulates in frequency what happens when the beater hits the kick drum's skin. The force of impact stretches the skin and the tune pitch of the skin increases before falling to its fundamental frequency. Essentially, you attack and decay in the frequency domain. Right next to it is another envelope generator, and this is for the overall amplitude envelope of the phase modulation patch. The denoise patch and the transient patch have their own amplitude envelope generators, independent of this envelope generator. From the magic spot, the frequency envelope is sent to the carrier of the phase modulator. The modulator oscillator frequency is the fundamental frequency of the carrier, plus what you add from the controls. Below it is the PM index, or the amount of frequency deviation you want. Next, we overdrive the signal to bring out more hardness. Here, overdriving the 10H function works very well. Next is the kick filters. Starting at the top are 3 high-pass filters that are cascaded as the frequency gets higher, creating a steeper slope. This is followed by 2 second-order bandstop filters in series. The bandstop filters remove frequencies, and this creates a sense of space, something missing, especially with low Q, and gives the sound that tube or hollow sound that a live kick has. A real kick drum is a tube and it's hollow. The denoise patch and the transient patch also mix at the kick filter's input, but because of their frequencies are not really affected that much by the kick filter patch. Let's take a look at the denoise patch. The denoise patch is made up of noise, 3 bandpass filters, and 2 envelope generators, one for the high frequencies and one for the mid and low frequencies. The 3 filters are then mixed together and sent out the patch to the kick filter patch. The transient patch is just a ramp from 1 to 0 in 20 milliseconds, which ring 2 second-order resonant bandpass filters at different frequencies, around 5 kHz and 2 kHz. These two filters are then mixed together and sent to the kick filters. Shell and output patch. This patch produces the liveliness that comes from a real kick, created here using delays. This all is sent to the master level control, VU meters, and then to the sound card. Let's now take a look at the user interface. So these controls are for your pitch and amplitude envelope of the phase modulator. The oscillator controls are modulation frequency and frequency deviation for the phase modulation patch. The color control is just the amount you are overdriving the tan function by. These filters are the controls for your kick filter patch, high pass filters and band stop filters with Q and makeup gain. The transient controls alter the transient's frequency and level. The noise filter controls alter each of the bandpass filters' frequency, Q and level, and has two independent envelope generators. The spatial control adds more delays to the mix. And finally, everything ends up at the master level and VU meters. Procedural audio is real audio engineering, creating things that don't exist, just like magic.